Hello everyone! It is time to bust out the sketchbook again and do a sketchbook ideas video. So today we have 8 different ideas that I'm going to be showing you, and these ideas are aimed at all skill types. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, I think there's something in here for each of you. Also, look at this. Because I've been painting in my sketchbook so much, it is like getting thick. Let's just jump in because this is gonna be a fun time. This first idea may not come as a surprise to you. In fact, you may have seen it all over Instagram for the past couple years. It's even been on YouTube and tons of other places. But I'm putting it at the front of this video because my hope is that if you see a familiar idea, maybe you'll feel more comfortable when I introduce newer ideas later in the video. So what I'm suggesting here is to redraw your old artwork. Now, this draw this again sort of thing was a huge trend on YouTube, and I think it actually still is. It's one that's kind of held on for a long time. And the reason why I enjoy this is because when we draw stuff and we're either really, really proud of it or we feel like we're not very happy with it, we have the power to try again. Our sketchbook is filled with pages and we have room and space to grow and evolve as artists. Now, the beauty of doing this, say you take a piece and you wait a year to redraw it. During that gap, you probably grew and explored as an artist. Maybe you refined your style, so when you do another iteration of that piece, you may be really pleasantly surprised at the progress that you've had. For instance, this palette here, you may have actually seen it on my channel, or you may have seen it in my shop because this is an enamel pin design that I made. And I probably made it a year and a half or 2 years ago by now. It's been a while. And I think my illustration style has significantly changed since I drew the first version. My style used to be a lot more stiff when I did illustrations, but through practicing in my sketchbook and doodling in Procreate, I've just become more comfortable and I know what I like now, so I figured I would give this another try and encourage you to give something another try too. And I hope it surprises you. We're going to take this ballpoint pen and start off with a very simple, whimsical scribble. So you can see I'm just doing a line with lots of little loop-de-doos, loop-de-das, and having a good time. No pressure here. We'll have fun with it later. Now I'm filling my page with all these, and I'm trying to make sure there's not a ton of huge spaces that have not been touched by a scribble. Now, once you get to this part, bust out some colored pencils, some markers, crayons, whatever supplies you have laying around. And with each little section of space between these scribbles, color it in a different color. It will end up looking so cool on your page. Now, if you want to add a little bit of dimension to this, you can do what I'm doing. And I'm sort of doing a gradient effect with each little section. So like part of the section is really dark and then I blend it out to the rest. I thought that added a nice, unique touch and some fun contrast. And you can also see a pattern with what I'm doing. You can do this if you want to, but you totally don't have to. I'm kind of working my way through the rainbow, and it's kind of like a fun little game. You see the red down in the corner, and then I worked my way to like orange, yellow, green. Now I'm doing like robin's egg blue and some other types of blue colors. And it's really fun because it's not going to look like a perfect gradient when you do that, like through the rainbow. You'll have like pink touching yellow, touching purple, and yeah, I don't know. But it ends up looking really cool, so. And everything seems spread out that way too. I don't know. This was more for stress relief and anxiety. I really enjoy doing these sorts of abstract pages where I don't really need to think about my process that much. I can just kind of go with the flow, have fun. The whole point here is just, get your hands moving, get some color on the page, and maybe process what you're feeling. That's why I like these. I like to suggest stuff like this in most of my sketchbook videos because, life is hard sometimes. We all have stress from work and school and family life and all sorts of things. And having an outlet for that is very rewarding, whether it be something creative or exercise, reading. Getting it out on a page really does the thing for me. So yeah, this actually took a really long time to do. So if you want to binge a movie or something, or listen to an audiobook or whatever while you do this, highly recommend it. When I draw and paint in my sketchbook, I get like super in my head and introspective. And sometimes I also just want a distraction from life and I play, a podcast or an audiobook and it passes time while, my eyes are busy in the pages. So with that being said, this video is sponsored by Audible. I love Audible so much. You guys have probably heard me talk about it a lot over the years because I went through these phases of being obsessed with the Skyward series from Brandon Sanderson, which are beautifully narrated audiobooks, by the way. And all that to say, Audible is the leading provider in spoken word entertainment. Right now, I'm actually listening to The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. And Brené Brown herself actually narrates the audiobook. It's so good. It feels like I'm hanging out with her. And I don't know if I should admit this to you, but I actually binged half of it yesterday. It was really good. I really love Audible because they have this thing called the Audible Plus catalog, which essentially has podcasts, guided sleep and meditation tracks, and then audiobooks, tons of audiobooks. There's so many different genres of audiobooks. They're so amazing. And if you're an Audible member, every month you will get a credit for one free audiobook and access to the Audible Plus catalog. And they're always adding new stuff, so that's great. If you want to enjoy a 30-day free trial of Audible, go to audible.com/Mira, or you can text Mira to 500-500. Once again, that is audible.com/Mira, or text Mira to 500-500. Your ears will thank you. So thank you so much, Audible, for sponsoring this. Let's get back to the drawing ideas, because I have more to show you. This idea here is the one that I am most excited to share with you in this entire video. So what is it, you may ask? Well, I was inspired to paint in my sketchbook, and if you've been following my sketchbook videos over the years, you know that I love to paint in my sketchbook. But what happens when you take inspiration from a famous painting or paintings, or just an artist's subject matter in general, and then you run with that inspiration and kind of make it your own thing? That's what I did here with Claude Monet's work. He's painted a lot of scenes with lily pads, and I just love all those paintings so much. I can't even choose one, but if you ever go to Paris, you can see some of them, and it's a wonderful experience. Anyway, I kind of ran with that inspiration and I created this fun little gouache painting study. Except my twist on it was less impressionism and just sort of, I don't know, rolling with whatever style I'm feeling. So if you have an artist that maybe you really enjoy or look up to and you like the kind of stuff they paint, consider painting it in your sketchbook, but with your own spin on it. I mean, you know me, I don't do tons of impressionism. I do from time to time, but it is fun to kind of apply the way that I would normally paint something to a scene like this that Claude Monet painted a lot. I felt like it helped me to learn to have looser brush strokes and not worry about being perfect, you know? Especially, you know, looking at all of his brush strokes and it's just so cool. Now, one thing different that I did, since this was less impressionistic, was I didn't have like all of those colors in with it. This was sort of just a quick gouache painting study, but I did think about doing all those colors. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought about like, whoa, it would actually be fun to do this on an actual canvas and see how it turns out. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that like sometime. But I highly recommend you try it. It's really, really fun. And I think you might learn a lot about yourself as an artist. Remember how I told you I was going to tuck a lot of easy ideas in here too? This is one of those ideas. If you have markers or colored pencils, I mean, honestly, you don't need to use the same supplies as me in any of these ideas. But if you have some colors that are similar, like me, I'm doing pink blending to purple, take that concept and do mountain silhouettes layered over each other. Now, I drew a little square on the page and then layered over and over and over. You could do this the opposite way if you want to save ink, but I kind of like the effect of like all the colors underneath showing through. So yeah, take your stylistic liberties, it's all good. I really like doing this because there's not a lot of shading to it, and there's not really much proportions. You can just make up mountain shapes, you know? But then once you add, you know, a little bit of ink and outlines to this, I mean, this looks like something that would be on a t-shirt, right? It did not take a lot of effort. So if you're somebody who is just starting out, you want to feel good about what you're making, I'm telling you this here, this is a good one. It's pretty easy. And I think pretty much anybody can tackle this. I did shade a little bit just to add some dimension to each mountain layer. You can do this if you want to, but if this intimidates you, skip that part, maybe come back to it later. Do what you want. It's your sketchbook. Have you ever had this urge to draw a cute animal, but maybe you're just not sure how you want to go about it? What if I told you that you could go about it a bunch of different ways on the same page? I love drawing foxes. They are so, just unbelievably cute. I adore them. However, sometimes when I draw them, I want to do a more semi-realistic style. And then other times I want to like squish the face and make it like Hey Arnold's football head or, you know, whatever. So here I'm just playing around with different shapes of the same animal's face. And it's kind of cool because, I mean, all animals of the same species have their own unique characteristics. So it's kind of, I don't know, a cool way to celebrate that. So my suggestion to you is take an animal that you love and try this. It's really fun to see what you can come up with, and you can totally use the internet for reference photos, but then maybe once you have the shape of the animal figured out, you get really creative with the facial expressions. Yeah. That's kind of what I did with this. Like the little fox with the eyes closed. Ah, so fun. Another thing I'm doing on this page, as you can see, is incorporating a lot of different supplies. And I think that adds a fun element to your artwork. For instance, if you only have a couple different markers and you can't do a lot of shading because you're still building your marker collection, whip out those colored pencils and layer over it. It'll be okay. And the whole texture of different media interacting is a very special thing. So don't be afraid to try that. Just toy around with different techniques as you go about this. I think it's a very rewarding experience, and you can learn a lot as an artist. A lot of these ideas that I'm giving to you here are probably not new, but in this video, I'm hoping that it encourages you to explore your own creativity and, add a dash of your own methodology, kind of discover what you like, and you can follow what I'm doing to a T if you want, but you can also take these ideas and run with something completely different. Like maybe you want to draw a bunch of different alligators or something like that. Go for it. Oh, and by the way, you should totally tag me on Instagram at mirabyler if you try any of these ideas, because I love to see what you guys make. This idea here has probably been one of my most requested ideas to include in a sketchbook video. So I'm finally getting around to including it, and I hope you really enjoy it. This is definitely nothing new, just like all my other ideas, but it is a mandala. Now, what's nice about this is if you are intimidated by jumping into projects with lots of shading or getting anatomy right or just diving into a big painting, then you can take just a regular ballpoint pen, the same one you use at school or work, and just repeat a bunch of these little patterns in a circle all around your page. It doesn't take very much skill to do this. It just takes patience. And if you have the patience to do this, then let me tell you what, this is a very stress relieving activity. So if you're somebody who just needs some stress relief, this is another great one. I've suggested that earlier in the video, but I think there's a lot of stressed out people right now. So shout out to you. I see you. Just kidding, I don't, because I'm recording a video, and that would be weird if I could see you. But you know what I mean? What you're going through is valid. Anyway, I decided not to do any color with this because, to be honest, I do not have a lot of experience doing mandalas. And you can probably tell because mine is very not symmetrical. But I kind of like that. It's just kind of some wonky character, Have you ever done one of these before? Let me know in the comments. That's the question of the day. I know there's coloring books and stuff with these too, so yeah, if you don't want to draw one, you could always get a coloring book and just color these for stress relief as well. If you are someone who geeks out over decorating your house, this idea may really speak to you because this one was purely inspired by interior design. And the plus side of this one, it is super easy and you could easily rip it out of your sketchbook, put it in a frame, and hang it in your house, your apartment, your college dorm, wherever you're at. So the background I painted with that trendy green that's been used on accent walls recently. And I thought it was a nice moody touch. And I used acrylic gouache because it dries very matte and it is not reactivated by water. So yeah. After that, I took this white Posca pen and you can see I'm doing a leaf here and it's mostly just line work. Very detailed veins on the leaf, but not realistic veins, just kind of lines, you know. And I like this effect because it makes the piece look super duper modern. And you guys know my trusty little gold leaf marker that's been running out of ink. I need to get a new one. I took that in the background and I decided to do little like waves. I don't know, maybe kind of inspired by like sound waves or whatever. And then I took this gold gel pen and I continued the waves, but like with thinner lines. And it had a really cool effect behind this leaf and against this green background. Have you ever felt like drawing or painting in your sketchbook, but you don't know what to paint? But deep in your heart, you know you want to have a colorful, happy page. Kind of like art vomit on a page. You know, when somebody's talking to you and they have word vomit and they just can't stop talking? What if you just kind of have art vomit and you can't stop arting on a page? That's literally what I'm suggesting. So you can do the most random things if you want, or you can kind of channel it in and pick a theme and then just do a bunch of things pertaining to that theme. For instance, I picked a sky theme and there's day and night. So I have a sun, a moon, some stars. And while I started shading these things, I started brainstorming a fourth option. You'll see what I do later, but I wanted it to be something meaningful because I'm hoping to make the things on this page into stickers later, but I'll talk about that some other time. Now, with all of these fun little sky themed doodles, I wanted to add an element of cuteness to them. You know me and all my little faces. They're just so fun to add to stuff. So each thing had to get its own cute little face. And now I'm just super attached to all these little characters. Oh my goodness. So yeah, my suggestion to you, you can do a bunch of random stuff and you can cutesify it like I did and put all these cute little faces on them. Or you can pick a theme like what I did. Maybe you want to draw flowers on a page or sky themed things too. You can do the same exact thing that I'm doing here. Whatever makes you feel like drawing and being creative, get it out on a page. Ooh, you could even do like different types of food. Oh, that would be fun. I'm gonna have to try that sometime. You can see for the end one, I did a cloud and I did like a little sad looking cloud and it was so cute. Oh my goodness, I had so much fun doing this. I hope you like this one. Well, that was everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really love this piece here because it's simple, it's modern, and it matches my Starbucks cup that I hinted about. this piece last week because I've been filming this video for such a long time. These sketchbook videos take sometimes days and sometimes weeks to film. This piece here also makes me so happy because it reminds me of Claude Monet and all his lilies. Anyway, if you want more sketchbook videos, well, they're always coming. So there will probably be another one in about a month or two because they take a long time to make, but they're some of my favorite videos to do with you guys. So it is a very special experience. Well, I hope you feel inspired and I hope you have a good day. See you later. Bye.